A viral Facebook post is spreading a dangerous claim. It says that if a woman does not bleed on her wedding night, then it means she is not a virgin. Some people even use medical textbook references to support this claim. But is that actually true? Can bleeding, the hymen, or a physical examination really prove whether a woman has had sex before? The answer is no. And in this video, I'll show you exactly why modern medical science rejects these myths. For a long time, society and even parts of old medical practice used a few methods to judge whether a woman was virgin or not. These methods were treated as if they were scientific, but in reality, they are misleading, harmful, and medically unreliable. There are three common methods people usually talk about: bleeding during first sex, looking at the hymen, and the so-called two-finger test. Let's break them down one by one. Let's start with the most common myth. If a woman is a virgin, she must bleed the first time she has sex. This belief is so common that in many cultures, a white bedsheet is placed on the wedding night to look for bloodstains, as if blood can somehow prove a woman's sexual history. But medical science says something very different. A study of 100 women found that 44 of them did not bleed during their first sexual intercourse. That means almost half of the women had no bleeding at all. And not only that, 32 women didn't even feel pain the first time. So no, bleeding is not guaranteed, and not bleeding does not mean she had sex before. Sometimes bleeding happens for completely different reasons. For example, if the vagina is not well lubricated, or if penetration is too rough or forced, the vaginal wall can tear, and that can cause bleeding. So the truth is simple. Some women bleed, some women don't. Both are normal. Now let's come to the most controversial one: the two-finger test. In this test, fingers are inserted into the vaginal canal to judge whether the vagina is tight or loose. Doctors or examiners used to try to guess whether a woman had habitual intercourse based on this. But there is a major problem. This test has no scientific basis. None. The size, elasticity, or tightness of the vaginal canal cannot reliably prove sexual activity, because the vagina is naturally elastic. Its shape and tightness can vary from person to person for many reasons that have nothing to do with sex. This test was often used in rape examinations, which made it even more harmful and humiliating. And because it is unscientific and degrading, many countries have officially banned it. For example, India banned it in 2013, Bangladesh banned it in 2018, and Pakistan banned it in 2021. That alone tells you how medically invalid this practice is. So now comes the big question. If bleeding doesn't prove virginity, if the hymen doesn't prove virginity, and if the two-finger test is unscientific, then is there any reliable scientific test that can prove whether a woman has had sex before? The answer is no. There is no scientifically reliable test to determine virginity. None. Not by blood, not by hymen, not by examination. So if science has already rejected these ideas, why do these myths still exist? One reason is that some older medical textbooks still contain outdated and misleading information. For example, some forensic medicine books in South Asia continued teaching these methods for years, and because people saw those ideas written in textbooks, they assumed they must be true. But being written in an old textbook does not automatically make something scientifically correct. Medical science changes, knowledge evolves, and outdated information must be corrected. That is exactly why global experts have spoken out against virginity testing. Organizations like the World Health Organization, the United Nations Human Rights Office, and UN Women have clearly stated that virginity testing is unscientific, unreliable, and harmful. They have also called for outdated medical teaching materials to be updated based on modern scientific evidence. So when someone claims that science proves virginity through the hymen, that is simply not true. Modern science says the exact opposite. This is not just a medical issue, this is a human issue, because false beliefs about virginity have ruined relationships, destroyed trust, humiliated women, and in some cases caused lifelong trauma. A woman's worth cannot be measured by blood, it cannot be judged by a membrane, and it cannot be proven by a so-called test. If you see someone spreading false information about the hymen or virginity, speak up with facts, because correcting one dangerous myth might protect someone's dignity, safety, and future. Virginity is not a medical diagnosis, and the hymen is not proof of purity. Science does not support these myths, and neither should we.